Hello, my name is Bill Bross, and I'm a developer here at Veith Consulting. This video is going to go over the general information section of the event registration setup process, and we're going to go in depth about every single option on this page. If you're looking for a more general overview, please check out some of our other videos for that information. All right, this page that we're looking at right now comes up when you either create a new event or you edit a current event. The page is going to look the same regardless, and it's just going to save the information that you put into it each time. Now going down the list here, we're just going to go over what each option means and what it will do to affect the registration on the end. The first option we've got here is just the event name, and this is just how it's going to show up on all of the lists and any materials for the event. That's just going to be the name that shows up for it. Down below here, we've got enable cross-reference discount. What this means is that if somebody signs in as a member and registers as a member, and they have other members cross-referenced beneath them, we can enable a discount for those cross-reference members. So if I check this one here, we get a couple different options. The number of full price attendees needed to trigger the discount. So we could say that, within a certain number of people, we need 2 people to register at full price, in which we'd put 2 here, and then all of the other people who are cross-referenced get a discount after that. And this is a flat rate discount that we can give them. So if we put like $15 in here, what this means is that by enabling this one, if people register that are cross-referenced together, and this can be within the same registration or across different registrations, once this number is triggered here, then we'll offer this discount to all of the people within that cross-reference set who register after that. Okay, so we'll close that option here. The next option down here is enable file uploads for events. Highlight this here. And what this one will do is if we check this box here, this will allow attendees to upload files after they submit some of their registration information. So if you want them to submit different items before they are done registering, this is the best way to do that. You can set a minimum number of files. So if you want to make sure that they upload some files, you can put a 1 or even 2 or anything. What else you want to put into here for how many the minimum that they have to upload is. And you can leave it at 0 for no minimum. And this will let them go past without uploading any files. And then we have a maximum number of uploaded files. So if you want to set a maximum, if you don't want them to upload more than 3 documents, we can set it as the max, and they'll be stopped right then. And then we have file alt text. So by default on all these pages, it's going to say upload file, new file, different things like that, and use file as the verbiage there. You can put something else in here, such as transcript. So if you want to say upload transcript, edit transcript, that kind of thing, you can replace that right here. All right, the next one down here is enable booth registration for event. This is a feature in progress, but it will be available soon. But what this will do is let you create a conference booth registration map that then attendees can register for and pick booths and things like that out. We'll also provide a public link for you to be able to send to other people to look at an interactive booth map. If we select that, we get another option, which is enable booth registration in admin mode only. If this is turned on here to enable booth registration, during the registration, attendees will see the map and be able to pick from available booths and add it to their registration. If we enable this option here, it will make it so that only admins can select booths for people. It will still give you all the options to create the map and show it to the public, but for the registrants, they won't be able to see the map or select things from it. So this is good if you're creating something where you want to control the layout and who has what booth, but still want all the features of it. All right, so we're going to turn that off. Include QR code. Now, normally every attendee is sent a confirmation email once they sign up and register for the event. If we have this option turned on, it will create a QR code with their attendee ID encoded into it in that confirmation email. This can be useful with barcode scanners or anything where you're linking that information up. If you're interested in this option in badge scanning, please contact tech support. We usually have to set up custom things for you, but this is a great way to do that. Or if you just want to give attendees quick things to scan, this is a great way to add that there. Next option here, we've got send confirmation email to all attendees. Now, normally, if I sign up and I sign up 5 other people with me, it's only going to send the confirmation email to me. If I check this box, though, it's going to send it to me and then a copy to each person that I have registered. And then the one below this, attendee-specific emails, if I have just this one turned on and not this, everyone's going to get a copy of the same email and see everyone in the group's registration. So if I register 7 people together, all 7 of us can see what we all signed up for or were signed up for. If we do attendee-specific emails, though, each one that sends to an attendee will only include their information, so they're not going to see the information from the entire group. So that's how you can restrict what they see here. The next option down here is pinned to top. What this option does here is normally in the sorting when you're looking at events, it will sort them by either name or date or whatever the person picks. If it's pinned to top, though, it will automatically show up at the top of all search results. So that's a great way to highlight an event or something like that. The next event or option down here is prevent new members from joining during registration. Now this is actually, it overrides a global setting. If you're interested in global settings, we have another video that you can look at that goes in depth over all the global settings for event registration. But anyway, there's a global setting that allows you to have new members register along with their registration and pay their registration dues. But if that's turned on, it's turned on for all of your events. So people would be able to do that during all of them. This option here, though, will override that. So even if that global option is turned on, this will prevent it from happening. So if you don't want new members for whatever to join, or for whatever reason to join during an event, you can turn that on. It will prevent it. The next option down here is the event category. These can be set up on the main page of event registration. And they can be things like, this one has different ones we can create here of member, non-member, annual convention, PSA. And these can all be custom. You can create and control what these categories are. But this just allows you to tag this event. And you can only, you can show events that are only of a certain category, or you can present a category menu to people instead of just an event menu. So that can be used to sort them more. The next option down here is the description. And this is going to show up on, anywhere that we're showing information about the event, and we're pulling in the description, whether it be in some of the emails or on the event description page or anything like that. And as you can see, this uses our normal editor that we have all over the system. We have other training videos about how exactly all these functions work. But in general, this allows you to upload images, add links, put videos, text, do all sorts of formatting. You can do lots of stuff with this, and so this is always available here. And you can always grab the edge here and make it bigger and smaller if you want more space with that. All right, down below here, we've got the location. So we can add the location name and then all the address, city, state, all that information here, and pick the country. This will work on, we have a couple things that generate maps. We also have a couple things that will encode things into emails for calendar invites. And so this location information will be included on there. Attendees will also see it when they first sign up for the event, so they'll get this information here and in their confirmation emails. Now you'll notice here, we've got this red text here. This only shows up once you've created an event and people have started to register, just to remind you that people have registered for this, and just be careful if you change anything, because if you change things, it will change it for people who have already registered. So you don't want to change too much and confuse your current attendees. Next option down here, and this is one of the required ones that we need for you to submit an event, is an event begin date. And this will just help sort it and put it on the calendar, and it's used in all sorts of invites and everything. If it's just a one-day event, you don't need to put an end date, but if it spans multiple days, you can put an end date in here. And then you can also add an event time right into here. And again, this will show up on some of the calendar invites and add to calendar buttons. Excuse me. The next option down here is include a vCalendar file in confirmations. And a vCalendar file is made specifically for Outlook, but it works with other things like Google for sure, and Thunderbird, I believe, too. But if this is included and this is checked here, it will add a vCalendar file that your email client will automatically read and be able to add to whatever calendar is attached. So if you're using Google, it will attach it to your Google Calendar. If you're using Outlook, it will add it to your Outlook calendar. And that will include, the dates, the times, the locations, all sorts of information for them to easily add it to their calendar. The next option down here is the registration cutoff date. What this one is about is normally events will fall off of the calendar and no longer be shown after the start date is passed, or if it's an end date, if it will pass. So on December 14th, this event would no longer show on the calendars. Now, if we set a cutoff date, we can cut it off before that. So if I don't want to have people registering, a week before or days before, I can set this earlier, and then it will fall off at that time. So you don't have to have it displaying and available for registration right up to the last minute. You can set it automatically to turn off at a certain point. The next option down here is registration available, and this just determines basically the status of the event and if you want people to register or not. Available, which is the default, just means that it's open, people can register, and we'll follow all the other rules based on that. And disabled basically means that it's turned off completely. It's hidden from the list, and you're not able to test it and even go through it. It's completely disabled. Hidden is an option that I really like to use. It's available, which means that if you have the link, you can go through, you can test it as an admin, but it's going to be hidden from your general event list. So nobody browsing your website is going to be able to see this event as long as it's hidden. And then all these other ones down here, they completely disable the event, but they do show it sometimes. They all show it here. So if you want to let people see it and let it know that it's coming soon, or if you have to temporarily suspend it, or if it's full or closed, you can still have it show up there so people know that the event's coming, but it won't allow people to register if those options are chosen. All right, the next option down here, prevent members from registering multiple times. This option mainly is if you're using the global configuration for email lookup. And this prevents people from basically using their email multiple times to unlock member discounts. That's the main reason to use this one here. So only if you're using email lookup, and only if you're worried about people unlocking member discounts with their email and then changing their information. This will prevent that action from happening. All right, alternate invoice return address. Now, by default, the invoices that the event registration system generates for people are going to have your organization's name, address, all that information on them. If you want on a specific event basis to change that and have it be something else, you can enter that in right here. And anything you add will be formatted. So if I do 111, Fake Street, Lansing, Michigan. So if I set it like this is how it's going to format. So you can type this in however you want. You can put a company name at the top or anything. It's just exactly as you type here is how it's going to format. And it's going to replace that on all the invoices that it creates. Suppress auto invoice sending. So normally what happens when somebody signs up, if it's generated an invoice, when they receive their confirmation email, it includes a copy of that invoice in there for them. If you don't want it to automatically send the invoice for whatever reason, you can check this one. You as an admin still have the ability to manually send it to them, but they will not receive it automatically as they normally do if this is checked. All right, verbiage here and member-only verbiage. These both show up on the main event information page for any event. So any event is going to have a main link that you can send people to that's going to show the event name, the date, the description, and then a button that says register. On that page, if you enter custom verbiage here, it's going to show up, and I believe it will present below the event on the public. So below the event information, this verbiage will show up. And if you enter member-only verbiage, this one's going to show up only if they're logged in as members. And then it will show up on there. Event blurb right here. This will show up directly above the register button, and you can just give something, a simple little one-line blurb right there just to give people additional information. Some people will say, by clicking here, you agree to such and such, and different things like that if they need to legally. Add additional confirmation verbiage here is the next one. If this box is checked, when you proceed to the next screen, you'll get another editor box where you can add additional verbiage that will show up on the confirmation screen. And that is when they register, when they finish registering on the screen, they're going to get a confirmation page. And that's where this verbiage will show up. We have verbiage later on, actually right down here, I'll skip ahead a little bit, for the confirmation email. So if you want to add information about additional verbiage into the confirmation email that they receive, that's where you add this one. And then this one up here is for the confirmation screen on the web. And then sandwiched in between these ones, we have the notification email addresses. And these are really important for you to use as an admin. Whenever somebody registers, any email address entered in one of these ones is going to receive a copy of that confirmation email. So you can keep tabs on who is registering, how many people, and what they're selecting if you want to. And you can add up to 3 different ones in here, and you can also separate them by commas and add additional ones if you need to do things like more than that. And we can always set up additional forwarders, so we can use a single address that we can send to multiple people if you ever need something like that set up. Okay, so skipping down to auto copy event. What this does is if you have a recurring event registration, so say you have something that happens once a month that you need just to copy over and over again, and you don't want to have to manually create this event. If you select the options here, so if I say I want to copy it on the first Monday of every month, What this is going to do is it's going to span out and it's going to know what the first Monday of every month is, and it's going to create this event over and over again for you. So you can create multiple events very easily if you just have a recurring one. I know some people will use this for board meetings if they know when they always happen, or just any kind of recurring meeting or registration. This is great to use for. Force descriptions to show is the next option right down here. Now, when people are registering and they see the registration screen, the information, if you add descriptions, there's going to be a little icon for a plus symbol, and if they click that, the description will drop down and show up. If you want them just to show by default and they don't have to click the drop down, if this is checked, they'll automatically all be dropped down, and so they'll show immediately for people and not be hidden. Okay, first additional mode here. This one is not used a whole lot, but it does come in handy sometimes. What this means is that when I'm registering, if I register myself as the first attendee, I must pick a package that is higher than $0, so it must have a cost to it. But when I add an additional person after that, they are only allowed to select from $0 packages, free ones. So what this is most often used for is if you want me to register like a table or something for myself, and then you want me to add multiple people to it. Or I know people have used it for golf tournaments. So the first person, you add yourself, you pay the fee, and then when you add the other people on your team, they don't have to pay anything, but you can still add the foursome there if you don't know exactly how many people are going to be there. So that's a great use for that one if you ever need it. A surcharge is the next option down here. If you enter a dollar amount here, this will automatically add this amount to everyone's invoice. It won't be subject to discount either. And you can also add a description here to say what the surcharge is for. So if you charge a $5 processing fee for everybody, you can add that in there and it will automatically add that to people's registrations without you having to do anything else. Payment method notes, that's the next one right here. At a certain point during registration, the attendee will be presented with a list of payment options where they can choose how they want to pay. And you're able as an admin to set those up in our global configuration settings. And even down here, you can see we can suppress ones by event. But anyway, on that page where they select how they want to pay, anything you enter in here as the notes are going to show up on that page. So you can give them specific information, different things that you want them to know before they pay. And if you're paying by check, at the very end of the page, or at the very end of the process, this will show up on here. So if you want to say make checks payable to such and such, that's a great place to put that one here. So both of these ones are kind of connected, just different parts of the payment process. All right, going down here, we've got suppress payment options. Now, like I said before, we can configure globally which payment options are available for your events. But on an event-by-event basis, you're able to suppress any one of these if you want to. So, if you're having an event and normally you allow people to pay at the event, but you really want them to pay, online and before they get there, you can suppress all of them and only allow them to pay online for this event. But that will not affect any of your other events like the global settings will. All right, the next one down here, we have logo and logo 2. Both of these ones here will show up on your information page. And these are a little redundant now. They're older fields. They're a little redundant because we have this, you can upload images directly into here. But this is useful sometimes if you want to add these into here and have them just display prominently. And then if you ever add them and want to delete them, all you have to do is check that box and continue, and it will delete them. Oh, and you can also put a URL here. So if you want this, if you have a company logo and you want it to go to a specific URL, you can add that right here. Okay, coming down to the end here on these last options, we can prompt for somebody's title if we want. And if we click this box, that will be required. They'll have to select that before they continue. The attendee limit for the event. This one here, if you only have a certain number or amount of space here, say you only have number or space available for 50 attendees at this event, you can enter a number in here, and as soon as the system reaches that many registrations, it will automatically close off registration for you. So you never have to worry about too many people registering or getting any overflow. It will automatically shut it off at that point. The attendees per transaction limit right down here. What this one does is normally when you're registering, once I register myself, I have the option to either complete my registration or I can add an additional attendee onto my registration and pay for a bunch of people on one invoice. You can limit the number of people that they can add by putting a number in here. Or if you want to prevent them from doing it completely, you can put in 1, and it will only allow them to register themselves and no one else. So that's a good idea if you want to prevent people from adding too many people or something like that. Use discount codes right here. If this box is checked, you'll be presented with a page after this where you can create and set up your own discount codes. And if you're interested in more about those, you can check out our general event registration training video. We go over how to set up and use discount codes. But those are set up on the next page if you have this option turned on. Suppress QB Sync. This is if you're using QuickBooks. Normally, if you're using our QuickBooks Sync setup, the transactions for event registration will be synced over to QuickBooks. Now, not everyone wants to do that. Some people only want membership data. So if you don't want the information for an event to be transferred over, all you have to do is click that box and it will prevent it from being synced. Member-only registration. That's pretty self-explanatory, but if you check that, only members, they'll have to log in and only members will be allowed to view, or I'm sorry, to register for the event. And by this, I mean completely full members. Prospects and list-only members do not count in this calculation, only full members. Add link to additional registration. What this will do is when somebody registers for the event, if you have this option turned on and you link it to another one of these, what will happen is once they finish registering for the first one, it will present them a link where they can start registering immediately for another event. So I know some people will set up like a pre-conference package and then a conference, or a pre-conference event and then a conference event. And they'll sign up for the pre-conference one and then go directly into the conference one. So that's how you can do it here. And it will carry over a lot of their information from one to the other. So any of their general information, name, address, city, state, that kind of stuff will be copied over. These next ones here, we get down to requiring different things from the event contacts. So right here, we can require that the contacts put in their organization. We can require their organization address. We can require their home, work, or mobile phone, or any of or all of these. We can also work, and then these ones here, so these ones apply to the contact person up here. These ones down here, anything where it says attendee, apply to individual attendees added beneath an event contact. So we can ask for the attendee phone number, we can ask for the attendee email address, and we can require their address. These next ones here, this one, we can enable a purchase order number. If you allow people to pay by purchase order, if you check this one here, it will allow them to one, choose to pay by purchase order, and it will allow them to enter the purchase order number. And as an admin, you're allowed to do that as well later. The next one down here is enable event admins. Normally, only completely full admins of your organization can access event registration. If this option is turned on, though, you're able to specify normal members to give them event admin access over just this specific event here. And they're able to mostly edit attendees and send out emails and stuff like that. But it's a good way to sort of delegate work if you don't want to give somebody full access, but do want them to have a specific job working for a single event. And then these last fields here at the bottom are all alt title fields. So throughout event registration, we'll use words like attendee or package or registration or register or discount code to refer to these different things. If you want to override these and say instead of attendees, we want to say donors or it's just donor, you should use the singular. It will automatically correct for you if it's singular or plural. But anyway, so if you want to override these things here, you can always just add the text right in here, and it will override the default text within the system, and it will replace it with whatever you've chosen here. So that's a great way if you just want to customize things a little bit and want to use different, if your organization uses a little bit different verbiage than we do. All right, well, that is the general options for event registration in depth. If you ever have any questions, you can always send an email to service@vthconsulting.com. We can answer any questions you have about event registration or anything else. As always, I hope this video was helpful and have a great day. Thank you.